Did you know that just one small mistake during the measurement process can cause your blood pressure reading to be off by as much as 20 units? That kind of error can lead to seriously incorrect diagnoses. In fact, millions of older adults are living with inaccurate blood pressure readings simply because of poor posture measuring at the wrong time or using a device that is not suitable for them. Once the numbers are wrong, every treatment decision, prescription, or piece of advice from the doctor can go in the wrong direction. And the scariest part is you and your loved ones might not even realize that you are caught in this cycle of mistakes. So how can we measure blood pressure as accurately as possible for older adults? In this video, I will break down the reasons behind inaccurate readings, and more importantly, I will show you a simple yet incredibly effective method that has been recognized by leading cardiology experts. Before we get started, take a moment to leave a comment below with a positive affirmation as a personal commitment to attracting good things. For example, I always measure my blood pressure accurately to protect my health, or feel free to share any intention or wish you have. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on valuable content like this. Let's build a community where we live healthy and happy every single day. So what exactly is causing the numbers on blood pressure monitors for older adults to be so worryingly inaccurate? Let's take a look at the most common reasons, and you will see that most of them actually come from everyday habits that seem completely harmless. Number 1. Anxiety during medical visits. In these situations, the sympathetic nervous system tends to become activated. This increases the heart rate and constricts peripheral blood vessels. These physiological changes cause a temporary rise in blood pressure, which does not reflect the body's true resting state in a familiar, relaxed environment. This phenomenon is called white coat hypertension, a temporary spike in blood pressure that happens in medical settings, usually triggered by mild stress anxiety or discomfort. It is a natural biological response to pressure-inducing situations, even at a low level. While blood pressure may return to normal once the patient goes back home if left undetected, this condition could lead to a misdiagnosis, unnecessary treatments, or incorrect monitoring of blood pressure levels. From a physiological perspective, mild stress increases the concentration of catecholamines in the bloodstream, mainly adrenaline and noradrenaline. These hormones raise the heart's pumping force and narrow blood vessels, resulting in a rise in systolic and/or diastolic blood pressure. For this reason, blood pressure readings taken in such conditions can be 10 to 30 millimeters of mercury, higher than normal, depending on how sensitive the person is. This issue is especially common among older adults because their nervous and cardiovascular systems tend to be more sensitive to emotional triggers and less flexible in adjusting blood pressure. Number 2. Not resting for at least 5 minutes before measuring. One key factor that is often overlooked when measuring blood pressure is taking the time to rest beforehand. According to major health organizations, the person being measured should sit quietly in the correct posture without talking for at least 5 minutes before the measurement. Skipping this step can cause significant deviations from the body's actual blood pressure. The reason is simple: if the body has just been moving around even slightly, or has been talking, the circulatory system has not yet returned to its resting state. The heart rate may still be elevated, blood flow may be uneven, and blood pressure tends to spike temporarily. If you measure your blood pressure during this time, the machine will capture a reading that reflects an activated cardiovascular state rather than a true resting level. Physiologically, blood pressure constantly fluctuates based on movement, posture, emotions, and time of day. Without a rest period beforehand, the body does not have a chance to return to its baseline blood pressure, which makes the measurement inaccurate. This becomes even more critical in older adults, whose ability to regulate blood pressure is often diminished due to aging. Even light activity or a small change in position can cause notable shifts in their blood pressure readings. Skipping the rest period increases the chances of a misdiagnosis, which can negatively affect treatment decisions. Number 3. drinking coffee, smoking, or eating a full meal beforehand. These are all short-term physiological triggers that affect the cardiovascular system and cause the readings to misrepresent the body's baseline blood pressure. Caffeine found in coffee and many other beverages stimulates the central nervous system. It increases the release of catecholamines like adrenaline, which leads to a higher heart rate blood vessel constriction and a temporary increase in blood pressure. This effect can last anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours depending on a person's sensitivity and regular caffeine intake. It is important to note that not everyone experiences a strong spike in blood pressure after drinking coffee. Reactions vary widely, especially for long-time coffee drinkers. Similarly, tobacco contains nicotine, a powerful vasoconstrictor. When you smoke, blood vessels, narrow peripheral resistance rises and the heart must pump harder to circulate blood, leading to a temporary increase in blood pressure. Additionally, other chemicals in cigarette smoke can briefly alter vascular tone and blood circulation. Eating a full meal, especially one high in fat or salt, can also affect blood pressure. After eating, blood flow is redirected toward the digestive system to support digestion and absorption. The body compensates by increasing heart rate and adjusting overall circulation, which alters blood pressure compared to a fasting or resting state. All of these are temporary influences that can cause falsely high blood pressure readings, especially if the measurement is taken shortly after consuming stimulants or food. Number 4. A full bladder, crossed legs, or incorrect arm positioning. These three factors, having a full bladder, sitting with legs crossed, and placing the arm incorrectly during measurement, may seem minor, but can significantly skew blood pressure results. They are also common mistakes among older adults. First, needing to urinate temporarily raises blood pressure. A full bladder activates the sympathetic nervous system, much like mild stress. Pressure from the bladder on surrounding abdominal and lumbar organs causes a reflex that increases vascular tone, particularly raising systolic blood pressure. Studies show this can result in a reading that is 10 to 20 millimeters of mercury, higher than accurate levels, leading to misdiagnosis if the person has not emptied their bladder beforehand. Second, sitting with legs crossed alters circulation. This position restricts blood flow in the lower limbs, increases peripheral resistance, and temporarily elevates blood pressure. It can also shift body alignment, affecting pressure on the arm where the cuff is placed and leading to inaccurate results. Third, incorrect arm placement can also cause errors. If the arm is positioned too low compared to heart level gravity, and hydrostatic pressure can artificially raise the reading. On the other hand, if the arm is too high, the blood pressure may appear lower than it really is. In addition, if the cuff is placed over a sleeve that is rolled up too tightly, or if the arm is not properly supported, the device may pick up inaccurate signals or fail to measure correctly. Number 5. Using the wrong equipment. Another major reason for inaccurate blood pressure readings is using equipment that is not suitable, especially when the cuff is the wrong size or when the device itself has not been calibrated or approved for accuracy. The cuff is the part that wraps around the upper arm to measure artery pressure. If it is too small for the person's arm, the monitor must apply more pressure to block the artery, which results in a falsely high reading. If the cuff is too large, the pressure will not be strong enough, causing a falsely low reading. Errors from using the wrong cuff size can be as much as 10 to 30 millimeters of mercury, enough to completely alter a diagnosis or treatment plan. According to international standards, the cuff size must match the circumference of the person's upper arm. This becomes especially important for older adults since age-related muscle loss and fat distribution can cause arm circumference to differ from that of middle-aged adults. A standard-sized cuff may no longer be appropriate. In addition, blood pressure monitors that are not regularly calibrated or that fail to meet medical accuracy standards pose a major risk. Many commercial devices on the market are not consistently fine-tuned, and over time, their sensors can lose accuracy. Some wrist and finger monitors, when not used properly, are also more prone to errors compared to upper arm devices. However, this does not mean that all wrist monitors are unreliable. Today, several high-end models designed to meet medical standards and used correctly can still provide accurate results, especially when the wrist is held at heart level and the user carefully follows the manufacturer's instructions. Therefore, to ensure reliable measurements, it is essential to use a blood pressure monitor that meets certified standards, choose a cuff that fits your arm correctly, and have the device checked periodically, especially when using it at home for long-term monitoring. Now that we understand the most common reasons behind inaccurate blood pressure readings, the most essential thing is to know how to measure it correctly. Just by following a few simple steps, you can get an accurate and reliable blood pressure reading. Let's explore the standard measuring process that everyone should know. Number 1. Preparation before measuring. The first thing to remember is to avoid all cardiovascular stimulants within 30 minutes before measuring. Specifically, you should not drink coffee, strong tea, energy drinks, smoke cigarettes, or eat especially heavy meals. Stimulants like caffeine or nicotine can directly affect the sympathetic nervous system, altering blood vessel pressure and heart rate in a short time, which can result in falsely elevated blood pressure readings. Even if you feel fine, your body might still be reacting internally in ways that the monitor can detect reactions you may not be aware of. Second, a very important but often overlooked step is to use the restroom before measuring. A full bladder puts the body into a mild state of sympathetic stimulation, which affects blood vessel pressure and can skew the results. Emptying your bladder removes this internal pressure, helping the body return to a stable physiological state, which is ideal for measuring blood pressure. The third step is to rest completely for 5 minutes before measuring. Resting here does not just mean sitting down, it means reaching a calm state both physically and mentally. During this time, avoid talking, using your phone, reading, or doing anything that could stimulate your mind. The goal is to minimize external influences, allowing your circulatory system to stabilize your heart rate to normalize and your blood pressure to return to its baseline level. Number 2. Correct measuring posture. This is a technical aspect that is often done wrong, not because people lack modern equipment, but because of overconfidence and a lack of understanding about how body position affects blood pressure. The correct posture for measuring blood pressure is to sit in a chair with a backrest, keep your spine naturally straight, and place your feet flat on the floor without crossing your legs. This posture prevents pressure on the spine and blood vessels, promoting smooth and even blood circulation. Proper back support also relaxes the muscles in the back and shoulders areas that directly affect circulation and heart rhythm. You should never cross your legs during the measurement. Although it may seem harmless, crossing your legs can constrict blood vessels in the lower limbs, increase peripheral resistance, and temporarily raise blood pressure. Keeping both feet flat on the ground ensures even weight distribution and overall circulatory stability. The arm being measured must be positioned at heart level. This is crucial. If your arm is lower than your heart, the blood pressure reading will appear higher than it actually is. If your arm is too high, the result might show falsely low numbers. To maintain the correct position, easily place a pillow or support under the arm so the entire forearm rests comfortably without tension or suspension. This allows blood to flow naturally through the brachial artery without being affected by gravity or poor positioning. Make sure your arm is bare and not restricted by tight sleeves. Measuring blood pressure over clothing, even thin fabric, can cause significant errors. If you are wearing long sleeves, roll them up properly or wear something looser. Never roll sleeves too tightly, as this compresses the upper arm and interferes with the cuff, which can distort the reading. Number 3. How to use the blood pressure monitor. First, choose a cuff that matches the size of your upper arm. This is not just a minor detail, it is a must for an accurate measurement. A cuff that is too small will apply too much pressure, causing a falsely high result. A cuff that is too large will not apply enough pressure, leading to an artificially low reading. Most manufacturers provide a sizing chart based on arm circumference, so it is essential to measure your arm and select the right device accordingly. Next is cuff placement. The cuff should be wrapped snugly around the bare upper arm about 1 to 1.5 inches above the elbow, with the air tube positioned on the inner side of the arm, right over the brachial artery. If the cuff is in the wrong position or twisted, the monitor cannot accurately detect the artery's pressure, resulting in incorrect readings. During the measurement, do not talk or move your body or arm. Even small movements like turning your wrist, nodding your head, or taking deep breaths can interfere with the blood flow and heart rhythm, which directly affects the reading. A quiet space and a calm mind create the ideal condition for an accurate measurement. As for technique, you should take 2 to 3 measurements, with each measurement spaced 1 to 2 minutes apart. If the first 2 results show a significant difference, usually 5 millimeters of mercury or more, take a third measurement. The average of the last 2 measurements is considered the most accurate and reliable. This is the method recommended by major cardiology associations around the world for home monitoring, especially for older adults whose blood pressure tends to fluctuate based on time and emotions. Number 4, the best time to measure. Not only the method, but also the timing of your blood pressure. Measurement plays a crucial role in how accurate and meaningful your results are. Blood pressure is not a fixed number throughout the day. It changes constantly based on your natural biological rhythm and is influenced by factors such as hormones, sleep activity levels, and mental state. That is why selecting the right time is essential for consistent and scientific monitoring. The most ideal time to measure your blood pressure is in the morning, right after waking up, before eating breakfast and before taking any medication. This is when the body has just finished a long period of rest, the biological rhythm is relatively stable, and there has been no influence from outside factors. Measuring at this time captures your body's base blood pressure, the foundational reading that is unaffected by movement, food, or medicine. Additionally, if you need to measure blood pressure multiple times a day for close monitoring, you should take another reading in the evening, around 1 to 2 hours before going to bed, when the body has already rested and you have not eaten or exercised recently. These 2 times, morning and evening, are often used as benchmarks for tracking trends over time, helping doctors adjust medications or treatment plans accordingly. It is also very important to measure your blood pressure at the same times each day. Inconsistent timing can lead to inconsistent data, making it harder to analyze and assess treatment effectiveness, especially for older adults whose blood pressure can be very sensitive to both time and emotions. So what are the real benefits of measuring your blood pressure correctly? It is not just about getting a number, it is about truly understanding your health. Let's take a look at how accurate blood pressure monitoring helps you take control of your heart health. Measuring your blood pressure the right way does more than give you an accurate number. More importantly, it protects you from misdiagnosis, which is a common issue among older adults due to incorrect measuring techniques. A falsely high reading could lead to an incorrect conclusion that you have high blood pressure. This can cause unnecessary worry and may result in long-term medication, even though treatment might not actually be needed. Accurate measurements also help you avoid blindly taking medication. Many older adults have been taking blood pressure medication for years based on just a few inaccurate readings, without ever having their results re-evaluated. When your blood pressure readings reflect your actual condition, doctors are able to make truly informed decisions about your treatment. This helps prevent over-medication, unnecessary drug use, or dangerously low blood pressure caused by taking medications you might not need. Moreover, accurate blood pressure readings allow you to track your treatment progress in a scientific and reliable way. This is especially important when adjusting medication doses or evaluating the effectiveness of lifestyle changes, like cutting down on salt exercising or managing stress. Measuring blood pressure might seem simple, but if done incorrectly, the consequences can last for years. In older adults, one wrong number is not just a technical error, it can become a source of worry, lead to unnecessary medication, and lower overall quality of life. The good news is by simply correcting the way you measure, you can change all of that. Do not let a daily routine become a silent cause of harm to your health. If you found this information helpful, leave a comment below with a positive affirmation like "I take control of my health with knowledge and calm." Let's build a community where we live well and take charge of our well-being together. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on any valuable content. Let's keep moving forward together on the journey to living long, living well, and living wisely.